Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to section 11.4, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Well, since we are going to multiply and divide today, why don't we start off with an example on how to multiply some fractions. Please remember, when you multiply fractions, you can cancel out before you multiply because that will save you simplifying steps later. Well, how do we cancel out when we multiply? We can cancel out, cancel out, kitty corner, both. So we make an x. So what can we cancel out of the 4 and the 20? Well, I can take a 4 out of the 20. So if I do take a 4 out of the 20, which leaves me with 5, I have to take a 4 out of the 4, which leaves me with 1. Now, if we go the other kitty corner, what can I take out of the 7 and 14? Well, I can take out a 7, so I'm left with 1 here and a 2 here. Now we can also go top and bottom. Can I take anything out? Top and bottom, I cannot, so now we are ready to multiply across. When we multiply across, we get 2 on top, and then we get 5 on the bottom, so it's 2/5 for my answer. Now let's move this to rational expressions. Now we are asked to find the product. Well, remember, first things first, let's cancel out. You can go top and bottom first, but for some reason I like to go kitty corner first. So what can I take out of a 16 and a 4? I can take out a 4. So when I take out, I'm just going to leave it nothing up here and just think of it as 1. Here I'm going to write down 4 because I have a 4 left on the bottom. What about our a's? I can cancel out my a's. I have nothing to write down, except I'm going to write down a 1. Just remember, for myself to remember I took everything out. Now let's go the other kitty corner. Here we have 15 and 5. That's a 1. Here is a 3. And then I can cancel out my b's. There's nothing left to be canceled out top and bottom. So now you just multiply across. So it's 1 times 3, which leaves me with 3 over 1 times 4, which leaves me with 4 for my final answer. Now looking at 2, same situation. We are multiplying a rational expression. I'm going to cancel out kitty corner. You can cancel out top and bottom, but I'm going to go kitty corner. So I have a 7 that cancels out with a 49 with 7 on the bottom. Here there's an x squared, no x squared here. Here's y. Well, here's y. I can cancel out that y completely, but here I'm going to be left with y to the 3rd. Now the other kitty corner. Here is 12 and 14. What can I take out of both? I can take out a 2 of both, so I'm going to have 7, and I'm going to have a 6 here, and keep going. We can take a total z out, and if we take a z out of there, we're left with a z squared. Now you do not have to do this step. I'm going to rewrite everything from the fraction of what we have left just so we can see it a little bit clearer. So we have an x squared that's over a 6z squared. We're taking that times a 7 over. Now be careful here because we still have that z right there. We have a 7z y cubed. Now we already canceled out kitty corner. Can we cancel out top and bottom? Nothing here, but can we cancel out anything here? Yes, we can. We can cancel out that 7 with that 7 with a 1 left on top. As soon as we do that, we can multiply across. So we have x squared times 1 is just an x squared. And we have a 6 times a 1, which is just 6. We have a z squared times a z, which is z cubed. And then we don't have a y and a y cubed over here for our final answer. Let's try one more. Now with 3, we still have to cancel out kitty corner and top and bottom. But before we do that, we have to factor. So let's start factoring here. Remember, when we factor, we have to think what multiplies to 3 adds up to a -4. Well, that's going to be a b minus 3 and a b minus 1 because that multiplies the positive 3. Here what's going to happen? It's going to be a b minus 10 and a b plus 3. And on the other side of the fraction, We have b plus 3 we can't factor. What can we take out of here and here? That's going to be a 4, and it's b minus 3. Now what can we cancel out? Kitty corner. Well, here and here is gone. How about this kitty corner? We can go b plus 3 and b plus 3. What's left here? That's just going to be a 1. Now, top and bottom. Anything top and bottom? No. How about here, top and bottom? No. So now we multiply across 1 times, and what is left on top over here? That's just a b minus 1. What's left over here? We have a 4 that's left. So that's going to go over 4 times b minus 10. And that is going to be our final solution. Now, we do not have to multiply this 4 through. We can just keep it as is, just in case we miss something that we can cancel it later. So please do not multiply it through. Leave it as is. Now with 4, now we are asked to find the quotient. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what changes with quotient? When we divide two fractions, we have to change this to a multiplication sign and then flip that fraction. So we flip it, and now 25x squared goes on top and 44 goes on the bottom. Then we still have, or we're still going to bring down 8 over 20x cubed. Once you flip and multiply, then it's the same exact thing before. Then let's start canceling out. So what can I take out of an 8 and a 44? I can take out a 4. So since I divide out a 4, I'm left with a 2 and 11. How about this kitty corner? I'm going to take out a 5. So here is going to be left with a 4 and a 5, and also an x squared, which is completely gone. Down here I'll be left with an x. Now, can we keep going? Look at this 2 and this 4. Now we have top and bottom. What can I cancel out that 2 and that 4 with? Well, how about a 2? So I'm going to be left with a 1 and a 2 down here. So let's multiply everything we have left. We have a 1 times a 5, which is just 5 on top, over. We have a 2 and an x and an 11. So we are multiplying all these things together to give us 22x on the bottom for our answer. How about 5? We are multiplying. So what do we have to do? We have to flip the second fraction, and then we have to multiply. Flip and multiply. Bring the first fraction down, and then we get to do the fun part and start canceling out some things. So kitty corner, numbers 12 and 25, no, but I can cancel out this a squared with an a. How about this kitty corner? Not the 5 and the 6, but I can cancel out 1b. So now if we multiply across, 12 times 6 is 72. I have an a and I have a b left. That's going to go over. 5 times 25 is 125. So your final answer is this guy right here. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to flip before we multiply, because if we look right here, we could have ended up disastrous if we would have crossed off the 5 and the 25. So make sure when you see a division sign, you flip and you multiply. Let's try a couple more with 6. Again, we are dividing. So when we divide, what do we have to do with the second fraction? We have to flip and multiply. Well, when I multiply, what do I flip by? Please remember, everything, all real numbers are over 1. So this is over 1. We flip it to be 1 over x plus 3. And then we bring down what we have over here, which is 3x plus 9 all over x squared. We can cancel out kitty corner. Well, we look kitty corner. This doesn't quite look right. What? Correct? What do we have to do with this? Yes, you guessed it, your favorite F word, we have to factor it. So I take out a 3, because 3 goes into 3 and 9, so it's x plus 3. Can I factor anything else? I cannot. So let's start to cancel. Well, I have an x plus 3 and an x plus 3. Notice how this x plus 3 is being multiplied to that 3, so I can cancel. This kitty corner, no. Top and bottom, no. So you multiply across, and we come up with 3 over x squared for our answer. How about 7? Same situation. We are dividing by this guy, so we have to flip. So it's going to be x minus 6 over x squared minus 25. We are multiplying. And then we bring our first fraction down. X minus 5 over x squared minus 9x plus 18. Now what can we do? We can factor here and we can factor there. So let's try it. Remember, what multiplies to negative 25 adds up to 0. So that's going to be x minus 5 and x plus 5. What's this guy factor into? This guy factors into x minus 3 and x minus 6. This factor, no it doesn't. So let's have some fun here and start canceling. Kitty corner, this cancels with that. How about the other kitty corner? This cancels with that. So fun to cancel out. Now, top and bottom, nothing left. There's just a 1 up here, nothing left, just a 1 up there. Multiply across. We have 1 up top. That goes over, what do I have on bottom? I have x minus 3, and I have this x plus 5 for our final answer right here. Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you divide, you flip and multiply. When you just multiply, you cancel out top and bottom and kitty corner and then multiply across. And that does it for section 11.4, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Good day.